I've been working at this all day. I'm going pretty strong. But there's a couple of things I did that, one is I refactored the back a little bit. I moved all of my player management from the simulator to the coach service. The coach service I feel like is the one that should be handling which players are coming in for a given play. And the simulator service itself should only be running the plays. And maybe I left the tracking injuries part there because it's running the play. So if an injury comes back, it needs to know so it can set, save, record, whatever it needs to do with those injuries. It'll eventually go back to the medical staff, which is part of the player's service, and check to see how bad the injury is. But ultimately, that's it's just going to get those players and deal with them as time comes on. Additionally, I did a little bit more tweaking with my skill set stuff, got all that kind of ironed out. I fixed all the bugs, well, most of them anyway, that existed in within my Go code, or I'm sorry, my C# code. However, I have begun introducing new ones because now I'm working towards trying to get all of my models, which right now are all these 3D lizards, 3D lizard football players. They are a single model. There's one animation on them. Well, one running animation. Actually, I think there's a walking animation too, but I don't. It's really bad. Now, as you know, the last couple of days, or a good chunk of yesterday anyway, I was trying to decide if I wanted to go 2D versus 3D, and then I said, yes, I'm going 2D, and I'm just gonna go forward with it, what the heck. And I was working on that all last night and into this morning. You know what? I finally decided. Actually, I don't even know if it was this morning. I'm trying to think of it. I don't think I did. Last night, I went to bed, and this morning I woke up and go, this is a bunch of needless to say, I decided it was necessary for me to focus on the actual game. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have player movement, player things going on, but there's no animations. So my goal is to kind of get it all going where guys are moving around. They're just going to be sliding and moving on the field with no animations. And that's just because I think it's too much of a distraction right now. It's not really that important. I mean, ultimately, it's about getting everything to function. Get everything to function. How the guys behave on the field, what they look like when they're behaving on the field, is really secondary. If I can get all the functionality of my game in there and just have dudes sliding around in the field, I've got me a full game. Granted, it's not going to look great because the guys are just going to be sliding around the field. But that allows me to start working on the animation last. I could theoretically do all the animations as the very last thing, have a 100% ready to go game, and then just try to keep plugging away at trying to make it look good. But I know that at that point, the game works. And then I just have to update my controllers and you know, how they're behaving on the field. But that really shouldn't have any effect on whether or not I can get this game to be 100% functional. So I think all of that is honestly minutia. It's stuff that's not real important to the success, immediate success of what I'm doing. Now, who knows? You know, I may run into somebody who loves to do the animation and wants to help out. Maybe we'll have to work out some kind of payment solution once the game launches to you know, pay for that, because I don't have anybody. I can't afford any of that stuff. But some of you may also be asking, why haven't I launched my Indiegogo? Because I said I was going to do that. I am. I am going to launch it. I was going to launch it last week, and then now it's a new week, and now it's at the end of a new week. And it's really just that I've been trying to clean it up, update it, because I had originally created it a couple months back, and now I've got new stuff I want to put in there. And so I've been kind of updating that, getting it ready for prime time, getting it ready to launch. I'm a little apprehensive because the first one I launched, I got one backer, and it wasn't enough to even claim the one backer's donation. So I'm gonna try again with my, whatever I can get going, and we will see if I can get that up to at least $100. If I can get it to the point where I'm getting something back each time I do it, odds are I'm not going to get fully funded. Fully funded is, well, it's a lot. I'd have to get thousands of players to come along and get fully funded. And what does that mean? I don't know. I don't know what my expectation is, honestly. I know people have managed to run Kickstarters and Indiegogos and get funded. It's rare, but it happens. I mean, I'm talking about non-AAA studios. AAA studios might do it too, but they've got backers of the thousands already lined up. I don't even know how that works. Really, you're just backing. I mean, I feel like they're just backing the concept, and what do they get in return? Is it all of the people who would ever play my game backing me, and then I don't get any more money once it's launched because I'm giving them everything because they already paid for it in advance? I don't know. I don't even know how to plan that. Games are weird, but I'll do it. I'll launch it soon. So anyway, this is what I want to do. So I posted to AI what I wanted to do. And it gave me some feedback. So I'm going through and I started creating the bits and parts that I need in order to connect things. And I asked it for the things I needed to do, and then I need to start generating all these different objects. So I'm going to go into my simulator here. I may even have a general UI. I'm sorry, the general UI. Maybe I'll put it in here. I'll call it the model loader. Add new item. We'll go player model. We'll call it model loader. Let's do that. Model loader. Model. This one, we'll just, this is brand new file, brand new functionality, so I will take pretty much whatever it gives me, knowing that it's probably going to be broken because it always breaks. It never gets it all right in the first try. Create the player pool manager. All right, I'll do that. We're going to put that in a simulator, however, because there's the only place I need player pools is in the simulator. I'm thinking of where I might actually have these players get rendered in other places in the game, and whether or not it's a good idea just to keep them available. But no, we'll put this in the simulator. I think it's a different animal. If it's in the simulator, it might be it's a different animal. Because the simulator is a different prefab. We'll go new item. We'll go player pool manager. CS. Copy that. Ooh, that's a big one. Update the player controller for huddles, which is what I'm trying to get going. The first things first, right? Getting all of the players on the field in the form of a huddle. Now, there will be times when I actually have them run straight out into their position on the field. Because like a kickoff, players don't go into a huddle for a kickoff. They come out in the field, they go to where they're supposed to. So there will be times when I do that, but that's an exception. I will run that later. Right now I'm just saying, hey, get players on the field. Hello? When you hear and then somebody comes on with a whiny voice, may I speak to Ann, please? You know it's a salesperson or something wonky. Something you don't want to talk to. I don't know, dude. How come it's always those people who are on the other side of the line? Is it like, is that one of the things that the hiring managers are like, okay, we need somebody who's got a really grating, nasty voice. I know, we'll look around, oh, and then think, yes, I want to take the job as a caller for random people so I can bother them. Oh, you're perfect for the job. Thank you. What is it you like about my application? Oh, I haven't even looked at your application, ma'am, but your voice, it's beautiful. It's perfect for this job. Oh, well, thank you. Hello? We want to know if you want to sell your house in Bothell. It's like, not you. And then the managers are like, I don't understand. You got such a beautiful voice. How is it you did not we weren't able to get people to talk to you? I don't know. They're really kind of rude. Okay. Amuse me. Never mind. We'll get back to work here. All right, so I got the player controller for huddle movement. All right, so set target. Add these methods to your existing player controller class. Oh. We have that. Is moving. Move to position. Not sure why. Oh, is this like a Wait, what? Public pool is moving. Why is it private set? Oh. I have value, but apparently. Integrate with run game. I do have a huddle functionality, which I'm trying to get everybody to utilize. Test huddle. I want to test huddle. Is there a? Oh, here we go. Just to confirm, is the huddle code we created integrate and work with the huddle code already in the system. These references to the huddle animation in the run game.cs. The simulator run game.cs. I have a feeling it did not, because it's very good at ignoring my commands. I say, look at the files that already exist. Make sure that things integrate. And it's like, oh, you're right. My current location is not in the... No, you're wrong. This is not the model. I don't know what you're talking about. Current file is run.cs, which contains data models, but the huddle functionality is referenced in run.game.cs. I should probably rename my files. I should probably call these like AMG auth models, right? Or AMG auth model, playbook model, player model, run game model, just so that they differentiate from simulator files, which have the same names. They're just in different files or different folders, and they serve different purposes. But is it doing something? Missing integration. The run game class in the simulator folder has methods like play, which calls huddle formation. Place ball on the scrimmage, form offensive huddle, and events like on huddle complete. Test integration. Test huddle. Class huddle is set to work with run game simulator and listens for the huddle events. The huddle code should be integrated into the existing run game CS file, not the models file. Oh, I forgot. It didn't say go. I even said where it's at. I even said in my code, simulator run game.cs. Oh, I did say workspace, but still, I told it where it was. In my inquiry, I did ask simulator / game now there shouldn't be anything in the model. Wait, what is it talking about here? Is there actually stuff in models? No, this is just models. I don't know what nonsense it's talking about. Sometimes. I don't know where this thing is thinking. This is where it's supposed to be putting it. I snack a lot. I'm a snacker. I try to find things that are decently good to snack. Alright, update game. Update from response. Alright, let's go to the honestly, I'm almost thinking I shouldn't do it this way. Because run game is the new play. Place ball line of scrimmage. Form offensive huddle. I'm wondering, see, this is already a pretty huge class. You can see that it's got many lines of code. And I feel like anytime you start getting up into this hundreds and hundreds of lines of code, it's time to start thinking about breaking it down. Simulator. So what I think I'm going to do is create a new file. I'm going to call this pre-snap pre-snap. Well, the reason I'm hesitating is because I'm trying to decide if that's UI or not. Because I could have it is kind of all about the formation. From defensive huddle, offensive huddle. I do have UI, it does have simulation. Wait for players in position. Are all players in position? Get next play from API. So run game can call UI elements, but I'm gonna actually call this, I'm gonna try this new file. We're gonna call this pre-snap player movement. Player position. We'll see. We'll see. Hopefully this isn't too significant of an overhaul. You know what? Let's just simplify. Simplify that one more time. Like this. Rename. Pre-snap. Let's call it pre-snap. There we go. And this one, when I reference, I'm going to call it the pre-snap. CS. Did it again. This is why you don't eat trail mix while trying to talk. All right, let's get this going. All right, next thing. So this function, form defensive huddle, and this function, form offensive huddle, and all this stuff is kind of UI, so I can actually do all of this. Take all of that out, we'll put it in the pre-snap, which is all UI based, so I'm okay with that. And then we got to do something like close this off, go up to the top, here, create like, I don't know, something that looks a little bit like this. This is going to be pre-snap. All right, go back up here. Oops, what did I do here? Did I cut the wrong? Did I not cut the right crap out? Oh, yeah, I did not cut the whole thing. It's supposed to be all of this stuff. My thought is if it doesn't fit in this screen, it's still too big. That's like my gauge. If I'm putting stuff on here and I can't get it into my singular tab, see how it's just, all this is just this piece of code, but when I go up to run game, it's still off the page. That's, and I'm even compressed. Waits for all players to reach their target positions. Now this is a little bit different. This is actually moving them on the field. But I have awake, create placeholder ball. I don't even know what that's supposed to do. And who play. Wait for players in position. Are all players in position? Get next play from API, which is part of the action. Update game state from response, which we do have to do. Ensure teams exist. A lot of validation stuff. Create placeholder players. I don't know if I need that for testing. Execute play. Execute play sequence. Test new play, test. I should probably take the testy stuff out. That would probably simplify this some. Return to huddle. So this one, all this stuff can go into the wait for huddle. This stuff will go into pre-snap. Back over here to run game. All right, see, get player controllers from team game object on GUI for UI debugging. Show game state. So there's a lot of this is kind of testy stuff. Probably not the ideal phrasing for that. The testing stuff. Only in development debug builds. Get players from team. I'm tempted, since this is only for debugging. I don't know what triggers the on GUI though. That could be a thing. I don't know how that's called. Probably because run game is assigned to something, and if I take it out, it's probably not going to be assigned anymore. Test method ensure teams exist from the UI. Did I reduce it any? Some. There's a good chance that some of my stuff is probably, now that I've moved it, I probably don't even need all of it here. Guess we'll see. Create placeholder ball. Do I need create placeholder ball right here? It's a game object, it's a UI. I think that's pre-snap. That's kind of weird. I don't know what that does. I really think this, it's still an object. It's a UI thing, so I'm taking it out. There's a good chance I'm creating some kind of broken references. I hope not, but we're going to put this over in the pre-snap. Because there's a thing up here where I'm actually placing the ball. I mean, didn't we already have an object on the field? And there's probably some references here. I gotta go here and look at this, because there's a good chance I've created some issues. Close other tabs. I gotta go start my music back up. Gotta have something. I gotta have sound. Drives me crazy, man. Must have stuff down going, man. It is very important that get things going in a proper way. Now, we need to figure out create placeholder ball. Does not exist in current context. So that is not here. We're going to create the ball object on awake. Get the ball transformed from ball object. If ball is nil, if ball is null, ball object equals ball. Ball transform equals ball transform. Debug log warning. Ball not found. Create a placeholder ball. So we're only doing this if we don't have a ball. Why would we not have a ball? That sounds like a problem. Why don't we just create a ball at the beginning? Create a placeholder ball. I feel like the ball should always be on the field. It's just like once it's created, it's just there. Why would we never have a ball? Game object outlined. And there will be one, because I have one on the field. The only way you wouldn't have one is if for some reason I took it off the screen. I don't understand why I would ever not have it on the screen. I guess it assumes that there's a chance. There's game object defined football. I don't need both. Just one called football. I have it. Such goofiness. Alright, run game.cs, update game state from the response. Update the game state from the response. Did I create that? Because I'm going to have to renew. I'm going to have to reference this stuff. New play. And I'm going to have to fix a lot of things here. And I don't know under what circumstance I'd ever have that's not existing. Because it's always there. It's just sitting on my screen. See, football. Football's there. It's always going to be there. Don't know why I wouldn't. Unless I need it for something. So I'm getting rid of the placeholder nonsense. It's always going to be there. I don't even know. I feel like I could just reference the object. It's kind of silly the way it's working. Don't like the way it's working. We're going to see if we can get this to work in a more friendly manner. We're going to go ahead and take this out. AI likes to go ahead and put a lot of protective actions in. You know, if it don't exist, let's do this. If it don't exist, let's do that. Let's create these fake objects and just keep. It's great, but it's also not so great. It makes things kind of weird. We will have the object. It will be there. We will get the ball. I don't know what it's going to do. We're going to just say ball should not be nil. If it's nil, we have other problems that are going to cause me problems. I don't want to have this stuff. We're not going to do that. Because if placeholder ball is going to, yeah, I can just see all kinds of problems with that. Graphically speaking, that's going to be ugly. I don't know. Put this back in. Get ball transform from ball object. Ball transform equals ball object transform. Oh, and I've already assigned it to the object at the top. See, even more so. I've already assigned the football to the ball object. Oh. It's even more not necessary. See, there's so much. Okay, where did it go? I lost it. Where was I? I looked at the top to try to make sure it was there, and now it's there, and now I can't remember where I was. Let's go clean this up some more. Just all line of scrimmage. Kurama 23 n.n n.n to YouTube. I got to try and see if it's possible to get this out of my screen. Stop it, you crazy, stop it. It's killing me, man. This thing is just not doing what I expect it to do. Oh my gosh, it's already 3 o'clock. Can you believe it? Can you believe it's already 3 o'clock? 40 minutes. I want to get this done within an hour so I can stop the stream and start a new stream, because I want to keep things down short. I want to have sectional streams that are vary in range and in length, but typically under an hour. Sometimes I want to do 20 minutes if I can. So I try to pick bite-sized pieces. Sometimes I'll even try to do things like pre-work it, get basic stuff in place and go, okay, let's now go at it. But as you can see, it's been 40 minutes and I haven't finished this yet. So apparently my pre-working didn't quite set up the way I wanted it to. Got 20 minutes to see if I can get this to kind of line up. Well, at least the coding part of it. Trying to figure out where is my ball object. Let's go control the ball object. All right, where am I? I'm Norbert. Don't know where you went. Why was that so hard to find? There you are, you stinking thing. All right, so we're getting rid of all of this. We're going to set this correctly, so we don't need all these unnecessary searches and parts. We're just going to set it correctly. There we go. That should clean that up a bit. Get rid of all this unnecessary stuff. So like this one, offensive team. Find offense and defense team in hierarchy if not already set. If offense team is null, Offense team equals game object.find. But see, that's the thing. I don't need this. Because offense team is set at the top. And if I'm not setting it, yes, I can create it. But it's better if I don't not set it. Because that just makes things sloppy. If it doesn't exist, then it's like I get these errors and I don't even know that it's not working the way it's designed. What I should do is, if it's null, instead of trying to do a find object, what I'm going to do is do a let's do this. We're going to say offense team not assigned to run game script. And then we'll do the same thing here. We're going to go ahead, put it in like this. I'll say defense team. Defense team not assigned to run game script. This will give me a good clean check. It's just, I'd rather get the error and do it correctly. I want my code to work with the first thing. I don't like fallback after fallback after fallback, where it's going to do something like, hey, it doesn't work, I'll go ahead and assign it for you. If I can't find it, I'll go ahead and I'll go look somewhere else. And does it not exist? Once we get 3 or 4 checks in, we'll go ahead and return an error. It's like, I don't want that. That's sloppy coding. You're better off fixing it so it works on the first thing. If you don't know that it's going through this whole process of 3 different layers to get the object, you got things that are going slower, you've got bad connection, you've got bad setups, you've got extra code that it's going through. It's doing these run game checks and object checks, and you're going to get bad performance, and you're not even going to know why, because the code is dealing with it. It's fixing the problem, but it's, rather than telling you that there is a problem, it's just going to keep trying other things. It makes your code a lot of fail safes, but it's sloppy coding. You shouldn't have to create 20 fail safes. Fix the thing, and if the thing isn't working, you have it tell you it's not working. You don't have it set up right. Tell it, and then tell you how to set it up correctly so that everything can function on the first try, so that it'll be smooth sailing in your code. That's how you want it. You don't want to have sloppy stuff running all the time. It just makes for ugly code. So says me. Somebody else might go, oh, it's okay, have 50 fallbacks just in case. It's not good. So I got to fix that. Got to call that. So I'm going to have to increase the context to those objects, which is fine. All right, so let's go ahead and see what this is. Update game state from response. Don't I already have that? Update game state. Take this out. There it is. Okay, so not much to it there. There's a lot more going on here. Update the game state based on the API response. Let's go ahead and pull these objects in, because we're going to need that. That's kind of the key element. You know what I'm trying to get them to, or in the stream. I thought that said player poo manager. What, we have to manage the poo of my characters? That sounds pretty bad. Hopefully we don't need to do that. Why would my models need that? Update pool manager for huddle integration. Get active players from team. Wait, didn't I get players from team? This is for the huddle management. Oh. did create that. I think did I put that in the UI? I think I did. Where in the UI? Common simulation, player control, player pool manager. Did I already do this? Create pool player, get player from pool, set the players, move player to huddle, return players to sidelines, get active players. Okay, I don't see get active players for T. Let's make sure. Alright, it's the only thing I'm missing from what I can see. And then we need to put a new player to huddle, which is here. I'm not sure. New player to huddle I enumerated it. Modify the existing new player to huddle represent game's huddle system. But don't I have the pre-snap new player to huddle? Oh, I don't need to do this no more. I'm gonna get rid of this. Form offensive huddle. From defensive huddle, return to huddle, wait for huddle. Okay, so move player to huddle. Why can't I just call it move player to huddle? Offensive huddle, form defensive huddle, return to huddle. Why would we ever have a return to T? Why would we ever delete them? It's another goofy thing. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I know it's just trying to be safe, but that's just stupid. Player controller. Station to higher position. Stop code, continue, move, control, stop code, no, don't want start, no code things. How much stuff did it give me? Right, it gave me two things. Add these properties to form work with the existing huddle system. Player controller. Player controller, mono behavior. So this goes on the top. Start target position, move to target position. Oh no. Can't code this. Update or suggestions to not use coroutines. All should be not use coroutines. So, huddle UI elements, UI function elements are now part of the UI /pre-snap.cs. This I need to simplify the complexity of the run in .cs. Have a simulator /run.cs class and allow it to focus on logic while the UI elements pertaining to moving players can be stored in the UI /simulator. So I had to ask you to do something a little more simple. I wanted to, or not a little more simple, a little bit more complex. It's taking some of the objects I have out of my current files and I'm refactoring them into this other full file. This way I have less complex classes. I don't like classes that have over 500 lines. To me, once you start breaking that 500 mark, it becomes a very unruly looking class and it's not very well organized. So you're looking for certain subjects of stuff. So in my case, like a pre-snap stuff. If I'm not looking to edit a pre-snap method or function, I don't even need to see that stuff. I can go to the file that is doing the other stuff for the play, like calling the run game or how is it processing the individual actions in the progress log. Maybe it's calling things from other files, but that's fine. The problem might not even be in those files. This allows me to create a hierarchy that is more organized in my code. All right, so we get rid of the code routines because code routines are terrible. I don't like it. The process of code routines. In fact, if you actually ask AI, it'll tell you that not using code routines is best. But look at this. There are things that it does pretty well at. There are things it does terrible at. But when I go up here, I have this function called Copilot instructions. One of the things I actually tell it to do: avoid using deprecated libraries, which I think it's been doing better with, though I don't think it's flawless. Because one of the things it keeps using the calling for find object of type, which is a deprecated function. Now it's supposed to be find first object of type. I know it's changed minorly, but it's no longer, the old one is deprecated. It works, but it tells you don't do it. So, maybe I should change this. To when providing, let's do this. Do not use subroutines and code routines. I'm even using the AI functionality that's supposed to be preventing this from happening. And some of these it catches, some of them it doesn't. I don't think it always looks at the instructions. Sometimes it's like it chooses when and if to actually read this. Use singleton references instead of serialized fields for all non-UI components, which I tried to do too. I think it's doing that, not totally sure. Some of these things, I don't know if I didn't list them correctly or what, but it doesn't always do what it's supposed to. All right, so we got a new player pool manager. Let's go to the player pool manager that I created here. I'm just going to go Control A, Control V. And we'll put all of that back in without the code routines. Hopefully now we can have it looking cleaner. And then I can take these out. No code routines. Sideline return handler. What is sideline return handler? Is that a new function? Oh, this is the... I mean, do I need this to be in its own class? It does initiate. I should probably put this in. I think what I want to do is take the sideline routine handler, and I'm going to have it be pre-snap, which is kind of what's happening here, right? So we're going to take these guys out. We will put them here. And then I will put these in. Start, return, and update. Is there an update already in here? No, there is not. So we can do this. I might even change its name. I think I will change its name to sub out. We say sub out. Okay. I don't know what the update, but we'll try it. Okay, updated player controller, no code routines. So we're going to the player control. Didn't I just update the player? Oh no, I did the pool manager. Did we do it without? Sometimes you must be careful. AI, this is a thing to be aware of. AI will often do things like consistently, like they'll do something like, this entire class has been changed. Here you go. Here's the update to the entire class. And you're doing something like a refactor, where they'll do something like I'm doing, where I say, get rid of the code routines. Well, if only, sometimes though, it'll do that and it'll do it in like 5 different classes. Those other classes will get things like a full page replacement, and other ones it might just replace 2 or 3 the functions or methods inside of the class, and you end up with something that goes, oh, replace this entire class, replace this entire class. So you're saying, hey, the third one says replace the entire class, I'll replace the class. It doesn't, but it really what it says is these are your changes for this class, and then it'll be something like, this code stays the same, this class change, this function changes, this code stays the same, this function changes. And so now you go and replace the whole thing. What do you get? A bunch of deleted methods and functions, because it only changed the ones that it thought needed changing. But it didn't tell you that, and all the other ones, it didn't do that. So you were okay. But now it's like, what happened to all of my methods? Oh, the stupid thing did partial updates. You gotta look through your classes and make sure that they are actually the entire class. It's annoying as heck, but trust me, it's a thing, and you will have to deal with this when you're working with AI. Positions. Start target position. And like this, and then it changed. What did it change the name? Move towards targets. Now I got move to position. Grid to world position. It did. It changed the name. See, this is like craziness, man. What the frick? I told it don't. I mean, why did it? What? Oh god. Why does it do stuff like that? It's so irritating. I don't know. Those things like that. Pre-snap, that says complete missing parts. Oh, thanks. I didn't know I was missing parts, but okay. It's completing my pre-snap. I did tell it I was moving stuff to do pre-snap. Okay. Doesn't look like too much. Okay, let's see if we got an update here. Now let's go see just how bad are we looking at the moment, because I think that was the last one. Oh, run game updated run game.cs integration. No, so that's add these references. See, now this one doesn't do the whole thing, it just adds part of it. So now you got to go in and do just part of it. And this is what I'm talking about. It does this thing where it's like, oh, we'll replace everything except on this one, where we'll just say do part of it. Header UI components. It doesn't say, I assume it's doing it in the run game simulator. Add these references. Okay, so we're gonna go here. And we're going to add these guys in the serialized fields. And we are going to come down here and we're going to say new play, which I already know exists because that was the thing. So we got new play. Complete progress, long warning, return, checkpoint, playing progress. Graduate try, but it's going to do pre-snap UI. Place the ball at the line of scrimmage. Don't understand. What? See, okay, so now this is another thing. Look at the way this is doing this. It's going pre-snap. If it's null, if it's not null, do this. But if it is null, just skip over it. We don't. What do we need a football for? I don't need it. Don't give me an error message. It doesn't do anything. It just says, yeah, not there. We won't do it. Who needs it? It's just a football. And then we move players to huddle. Do we have a pre-snap UI? Oh, we don't? Yeah, we don't need to move the players. Let's just leave them out on the field. We don't need to have them go anywhere. They'll just stop. And then, if it don't exist, all these pre-snap UIs are checking for it. And you know what it's going to do? It's just going to skip them all. It doesn't tell me nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, 4. 4? 4. 4 times it'll just skip it. So we're not going to have a huddle formation. We're not going to have a huddle. We're not going to bother with the football. We're going to do these things. And it isn't even going to exist. It's like, huh, why are all my guys just standing around? There's not even a football on the field. So when the ball snaps, we'll just skip that too. We don't need to have a ball. We're chasing the ball. I don't know where the ball is. The guy just running around and there's no reason to tackle him. He don't have a ball in his hand. Because we just skipped over the whole ball part. Who needs a ball in a football game? That's just silliness. No, you say, dude, we don't have a ball. You need to put a ball on the field. That's what you need to do. Anyway, we're going to, even if it doesn't crash, you do something like it's not there. We log the warning saying it's not there. I'm not going to do this until this is done. So we're going to go ahead and update this, but I'm going to rewrite it a little bit. So we're going to take this all out, all the way down to this. We're going to replace the new plate. Go here, and we're going to go there, and go delete, and control. So we'll put it all in. And now we're going to actually do something useful, and we're going to say, if is null, we're gonna go is null, we're going to say something like debug log here. Cannot place ball at lines. Cannot. That is not assigned to you know what? I don't want. I bet you this is calling it through a serializer, isn't it? Nope. Okay. Anyway, this is another problem. Code base. Please update. Please update. Call to pre-snap UI. It is a script. I do not want scripts being serialized. If at all possible, for use in other scripts. Just reference the script directly. The only time you should be serializing an object, you should only serialize objects, in my opinion. That's objects that are in the UI. So if you create a player model, a prefab, an asset, or whatever you're creating, actual objects, game objects in your hierarchy, those objects can be serialized to be referenced. So if you're removing them, you put them into your scripts, and so your script knows what object it's working with. But when you create scripts that are behind the scenes, why would you want to go through the UI unnecessarily? Your code can all talk to itself. There's no reason to go through the UI. The only thing UI should be is user facing, right? So if I'm in there coding something and I need to set a value for one of my scripts, I'm going, oh, I want to change this value. Okay, that could be serialized because I might want it to be available to me in the UI. Or if I'm setting up an object. But if it's not user set or UI existing, then you shouldn't be creating it in the front end, because then you have to create objects in the front end. You end up having to you're dragging and dropping objects in serial. You're doing a UI action for a code function, and it's silly. Don't integrate the UI. I'm telling you, my opinion is don't create UI elements that only have a code function. If they're only code, let your code talk to the code, and your UI connect to the code only when needed. Simplify. Thank you, sir. Let's go trying this. So we're gonna go back to my pre-snap. See if we can get this to work a little bit. It's not doing anything weird, is it? Where it's updating. Return to huddle. Get the players. Huddles, okay. This will clean that up some. To also use singleton patterns. Okay, we'll be down to player controller, no, player pool manager. Did you know in the NFL, when players are returning to the huddle or standing on the sidelines, they are not allowed, I think this is in all football actually, they are not allowed to go outside of the 20s. So technically players should not be, when you're on the sidelines, the gaps between the 20 and the end zone should be free of players. Now I think the coach might be an exception to that, but I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure though that all players have to stay within the 20, so you can't chase a player past the 20. So like if they're moving up and down the sidelines, they have to stay within that range. I don't remember what it is exactly. On the sideline, players who are not actively in the play must follow specific rules to avoid penalties and maintain order. Restricted area. This is typically a 6 foot wide white painted area. Oh yeah, well I know that. They can't step on that. Players must stay behind the area during gameplay. Bench area. Players not in the game must remain in the designated bench area, which is usually 18 feet behind the restricted zone. Interesting. Substitutions. Players entering or exiting the field must do so in an orderly manner. Sideline conduct. Taunting. Get back to coach. Many teams assign a coach to ensure players and staff stay within their designated areas to prevent sideline infractions. Oh, maybe there isn't. So, players can extend all the way to the end zone. Designated. Oh, okay, so it is 30-yard line, not the 20. That's even further. First borders, white stripe. A 6 foot wide area reserved for officials and the chain crew. No players or coaches are allowed. Oh, I think that's the last one. Yellow line. A 6 foot wide area within the bench area where only the head coaches, signal callers, and substitution players can stand. Oh, I didn't know that. Bench area. All other players must remain behind the second border unless they are about to enter the game. Highlighting these. So that's interesting. So there's 2 lines on the sideline? And it's got a yellow area? I didn't know that. Let's see. Let's go look. Images of an NFL sideline area. Yeah. See, there is a yellow line there. Look at that. Interesting. I was more like looking for the field painting. NFL sideline. Bench area. That's not even the whole thing, man. Let's go back here. I just want to see anybody. So there are some sidelines here. So at the, oh, look at that. There you go. See, 30-yard lines, 30, 40, 50, 40, 30. So this is the area that it's referring to. So players have to stay in this zone. So if they're not going into the play, actively about to go into the play, they have to stand in this this area behind the yellow line. This is their area. And then if they want to go into the play they're about to be substituted in, they wait here. Nobody can go onto the white line though. That's kind of a no-no. But interesting. I didn't know that. That's even more than, I mean, I knew there was a restriction. When I played football, they told me you could not stand beyond these lines. I knew the extensions. And I also knew that you were supposed to kind of stay back from the line if you weren't going in, but I don't remember additional markings. I was never in the NFL. And I didn't, although I played with a semi-pro team for a couple of weeks, I never actually officially got to play in an official game. It's apparently not good enough. Good enough to stick around, but not good enough to get to play, so that was a bummer. Ultimately, I think I was kind of I was a good cover guy, I think, but I was kind of a chicken when it came to diving. They were throwing passes one time and they said they wanted us to reach out and dive for the ball. I couldn't get it in my head to dive for the ball. I mean, I just felt like it was out of reach. Why would you dive for something that's out of reach? You know, if they give it to you, I can see it if it's in the range, but I don't think I ever dived for a ball, even when I was a receiver. And I was a good receiver. I could catch well, but I couldn't get into my mindset diving and allowing myself to just go splat onto the ground. I think that ultimately hurt me because I think my coaches knew I wasn't committed. I wasn't willing to go that extra inch. I never understood how that even helps. Because if you really think about it, I'm gonna sneeze. 2 out of the way. That should be good. I don't usually have 3. So if you really think about how the physics of that are, right? So you're running like this and you're leaning forward and your hands are extended. The ball's coming down. You're running, and it's going over your head. You dive. You start to fall. The ball's still going over your head. How often does the ball drop just enough to hit your hands? You have to you have to be outrunning the ball and the ball's about to drop in a space that's in your dive zone. So that means the trajectory of the pass has to be at the right downward action that your dive can actually jump under the ball. It's pretty rare that that's necessary. It's really, really rare that you would have to do that it's going to be just that inch forward. So unless you're outrunning the ball, some players are fast enough to outrun the ball. I think part of the thing is I was rarely fast enough to outrun the ball. I mean, I could run under the ball and kind of catch pace with it and time getting underneath it and I could catch. But I was rarely moving faster than the trajectory of the ball. So a dive for me was rarely usable. And I think the biggest problem for me was that I was not fast enough. And I think coaches kind of I can't catch the ball. I mean, he can't catch up to the ball. And that was, that hurt me. But I loved playing CB. I love to play it in flag football. I like to cover guys. I like to go out for passes too. That was always fun too. I even played quarterback. I liked playing quarterback. I was a decent quarterback for flag football. I never got to try it. I never even tried to try it in actual games when I was playing. But I did try in flag football, and I was the quarterback for my team for, I don't know, half a season, 3/4 of a season. And when we decided our other player wasn't very good. I mean, we didn't win a ton, but it wasn't just for the lack of quarterbacking. It was that some of these teams had some pretty amazing players for flag football. What the freak are they doing here? All right, I'm at the 1 hour and 20 minutes, and I still haven't ironed all this nonsense out. Let's go back to my run game CS, because I keep trying to clean up the things that it's giving me. To use singleton references instead of serialized fields. To remove, so I can remove this header stuff, because that's silliness. Wait. Singleton setup. Find objects. Notice. I thought I told it don't use singletons. Or don't use, I mean, see, that's another thing I said. It says, well, let's do this. I don't care about the project. Let's just say this. Do not use subroutines and coroutines. Use singleton references instead of stress for all non-UI components. When all considered, avoid using providing code suggestions. C#. How about when providing C# code suggestions? Providing code suggestions for API calls. Code suggestions for API calls. Trying to simplify the statements to see if maybe it was getting confused by what I was putting in. I don't know, man. It still misses some of this stuff. Earlier, was it last week, I had to doing some stuff for the API and it would just create its own calls, files to the base URL. Like, stop doing that. Making me have to refactor too much. All right, so let's go back to this. We gotta find the required objects. Manage or debug.log, get ball transform from ball object. Opens team debugging. That's good. Play progress. Oh, you know, this could take a long time if I have to go through all of this. This is probably just bad code or bad format. There we go. this thing, which is everything before 3. 3. Already in there. That's okay. An existing code, and we have to go update game state. Get player from team. Players from team. Okay. I think we got mostly. Let's see where we are with the bugs. We have everything assigned. We're probably going to have some bugs again because it's always got the bugs when I do this. We end up having to We're only 13 errors. Not the worst, but not as good as it could be. Now if I can fix this one, does not contain a definition, for instance. Player pool update. Let's see, let's go ahead and go with the Copilot so that it can help me do this in a way that lets it look at the code, and we'll see where we are. Instance. I think we need to create the instance functionality in this, and I think that's the problem. I think it forgot to create it. It created the singleton reference, but it didn't actually do the thing that we were expecting it to do. See here. I'm thinking this is going to say create this the instance in the player pool manager. That's what I think anyway. Or not. I just sit here and twiddle its thumbs. There we go. We'll go to the player pool manager. We'll go to the top. There is no awake, so I don't need to worry about overriding code. We just need to stick this guy in here. And then maybe it'll fix itself. There we go. So now we're down to 7. We killed 6 errors in one stomp. That's pretty good. Lots of bug dead. Pretty sure we just need a reference to this. The awake method? No. No. Use singleton. There we go. I just feel a little top first. There no, it's being done now. Okay, never mind. Oh, did we do this again? 2 players from team is already duplicated. How come it doubled up? How come it does that? I think I already duplicated this once before and I got it fixed. It says it in run game, get player team, and run game, get players from team. Where's the other one? Oh, there it is. Need to see which one is supposed to be the one we're using. Players, player controller, team, controller, players, that range. Also, we need the pool. This needs to go. We'll replace this one. Oh. The McNoodles, what just happened? Mod config. Oh, I think something didn't copy code. On player model. Wait, where is this? Model loader. Details. Model loader. Services, simulator. Oh, there it is. Okay. Doing it twice. Huh. Are they identical? The list one is correct. No, the list one that uses eligible positions is incorrect. Okay. Thought they got rid of it. Did I have 3 versions? Okay. The swore I already looked at that. The one you want. player, get game object, player themes, controllers, add range, player pool manager, players. Okay, is there another one? Alright, I don't know how I keep getting duplicates of this. It's kind of bugging me. I don't even know which one I want. Wait, what is this? Team data models? This should not exist. Is that the one that it told me to keep earlier? I think that might be, but I don't like that. Because it should not be a models file here. Player model config model type. Right. I'm going to do this. So at least put it in the correct file. But the problem is, on the awake method, I must add oh, I don't want that. Why are you trying to make me do that? You're stupid. Create a singleton of this object. It's not create. Keeps telling me to create the serialized, and I don't want to do that. Replace this block in rungame.cs. Oh, that's all. That's all. Let's do this. Just need to do this instead. We already created the singleton. We just aren't referencing it correctly. Alright. This is also probably the pre-snap. This one is running. Can I just do this? Please now. Oh, there's something supposed to go in here. I like to say, I replaced the incorrect call. with this. And I'm like, no, you didn't. What nonsense are you speaking, my friend? You did not do anything. Oh, is this what it did? Pre-snap.instance. Oh, I didn't put instance in. I knew I was on the right track. I just didn't put the instance in. We're almost there. Copy. Return to header. Oh, you know, it's probably, let's just take me to this line. This is probably pretty snap. Pre-snap? Pre-snap. No? Capital instance? Model like prefab. Don't know what that is. Let's copy this one. So we're reaching out to 143. I'm getting close to my absolute max for a stream length is 2 hours, and I wanted to do this in 20 minutes, but I always underestimate just the complexity of the simple tasks of what they are. Prefab. What is config? Default fallback. Get model for type. Model loader. Player prefab. Player prefab. Okay. Now we're down to 1. Use update loop to type instance cannot be found. Are you missing interactions? So this is a sideline return handler. I don't actually have a sideline return handler, but it's possible it's because I took it out. This is actually going to be start return. Start return is actually part of the pre-snap now. It's return to huddle. Or is it? It's like, put it in here. Place up a scrimmage. Return to huddle. I think that might be what it is. It's return to huddle now. The object. The update loop to check when movement is complete instead of call routine. A start return. I don't get it. Return player to sideline. Complete player return. So that's not return to huddle. Use update loop to check when movement is complete instead of code. Don't know what this is trying to do. Manager start return. have pool manager, player ID, and returning. Sideline return handler. Get components. Get component is not. What is it returning to? Sideline return handler. It's returning to sideline. Or having a player return to the sideline, but it seems a little bit off. I don't know why that's. Pre-snap. Update. Waiting for huddle. Get the player from team. We are doing pre-snap. I'm going to try and take me back out. Try it again. So I have update. So we will do this. Returning to start return. We'll have this. Go like this. Return to sideline. This is returning to sideline. Here. Oops. No, it's not what I wanted. You. Then we have to go back to this guy. Understand why it says is updated. Why do we need to do a component like this? I guess it's a player has this object on it, right? And the object is, it's kind of like a flag that tells the player that he's returning to the sidelines, but isn't there also one for pre-snap and the returning to the huddle? form offensive play, offensive defensive, return to huddle, returning to sidelines, get players from team. I'm starting to wonder if I need a sideline manager. It's a state for the player to track that it's currently returning to the huddle. Okay, I feel like it's too small. There's times when I feel like a class is too small, it's not going to have any real functionality. But I'm beginning to believe that maybe I need to attach the component to something. Ugh, don't like it. It just seems like a niddly bit. I'm going to do it the way it says, only because I don't fully know if that's the best way to do it. I guess I have to understand what the other files are going to be. It's not smart enough. Even though you're working within the code of C#, it still does things goofy. Like you say, oh, you don't want a C# Kyle? Okay, we'll give you not a C#. Why doesn't it just put the CS under automatically? Why doesn't it just... I could understand if you're going for something different, then you have to rename it, but... Okay, do we get all the fixes now? Is everybody happy now? Let's see here. Look at that. Look at that. We have no problems. Okay, I think we have all of our code test. Our new code is now bug-free. Does it work? I don't know. We're going to test it next time. Until then, God bless.